What's up everybody, welcome back to Casual Ad. In today's video, we will be exploring the Sound Bloodline. It is pretty new and we shall see if it is good in any aspect. It is not super rare like the Akuma bloodlines or any other popular bloodlines. It has a 1 out of 50 rarity and it has no more. It only has 3 skills and that's all. The maximum level for the bloodline is 500. So the ceiling is quite low. The first skill is called the Vibrating Wave. Your bloodline level has to be at least 60 with a minimum of 480 chi stats. It will also require 11,000 Ryo. The second skill is called the Waveblast. Your bloodline level has to be at least 320 with a minimum of 1,500 chi stats. It will also require 21,000 Ryo. The third skill is called the Trembling Palm. Your bloodline level has to be at least 480 with a minimum of 2,600 chi stats. It will also require 31,000 Ryo. With all the skills purchased, let's try them out on the training logs first. The Vibrating Wave looks like a long range attack. Let's move backwards for a clearer look. Yeah, so it is a long range forward AoE attack. Looks pretty good. A Waveblast shoots multiple energy balls at the target. If we move backward, you can have a clearer look. It seems to have an all-around AoE at the area of impact too. Finally, let's take a look at the Trembling Palm. Wow, the AoE is quite huge. Let's move backwards. It can shoot a wave forward too, and the horizontal range is really wide. Okay, for this scene, there is a disclaimer. I only discovered that the Trembling Palm can work like a Chidori or Rasengan after I tried them in the war mode. It can make the user run really quickly, but it has a huge AoE when it hits. So I think if the melee doesn't hit, it will release a sound wave over a short distance. Something like an extension of the Chidori or the Rasengan. The skills looks fine to me, but let's test it out on the mobs in the war mode. The Vibrating Wave has a long range and it is very wide too. You can see it for yourself. It can do multiple knockbacks, which is good in the war mode. Just look at how far it knocks the mobs back, but the damage is not exactly high. Now onto the Waveblast. Although the Waveblast has an AoE upon impact and the energy ball probably home into the target, the damage is really not high. My ninjutsu stats are maxed out and I do not feel that it does a lot of damage. It is also really difficult to land hits on large bosses like the Samurai Spirit. The Trembling Palm works like a Chidori, but with an AoE upon impact. The AoE is actually quite huge. Just look at how wide it is. The damage is not as high as I expected, but with the huge AoE, I guess there is some give and take or balancing to be done. The Vibrating Wave uses 18,000 chakra or chi and has a 20 seconds cooldown. The Waveblast uses really little chakra or chi and its cooldown is really short. It uses only 8,000 chakra or chi and has a short 12 seconds cooldown. The Trembling Palm uses 35,000 chakra or chi and has a 25 seconds cooldown. Overall, I feel that the Sound Bloodline will not be a bloodline that I will use often. It is a great separator with great AoE attacks, but the damage aren't amazing. It is a very good crowd control bloodline. It is good for annoying other players, so I would say maybe you can use it for support. It is also good in war mode because you can push many of the mobs back and it can hit multiple mobs too. It gives you some breathing space. Other players can complement it with the DPS. You can also use it for PvP. Other players can complement with the DPS while you can try to separate the enemies from your teammate. But if you're alone, I don't think you want to use a lower DPS bloodline that keep pushing back the enemies unless you're trolling them. At first I thought this bloodline is related to the Soundfall or maybe Tayuya or other Orochimaru henchmen. But it turns out to be revolving around the use of a sound wave from a string instrument that looks like a guitar. So what do you think of the sound bloodline? Let me know in the comments below. So that's it for today's video and the showcase of the sound bloodline. Subscribe if you haven't already so that you can catch me in the next video. Bye!